I started taking notes.
Oh.
And then we paused in the middle a couple of times, so I'm trying to remember what.
Okay. Sookie and Tara are both acting out in this episode.
Yeah.
Oh, season 1, True Blood, episode 8, The Fourth Man in the Fire. I'm Kristen.
Kristen, Will.
Yeah, so Sookie thinks that Bill is dead.
Mm-hmm.
We see what happens to vampires after they die. It's just like a puddle of goo.
Jiminy Christmas. That's what happens to vampires, evidently.
Bloody goo.
It's really gross.
Yeah.
Well, we also see immediately in the next episode what happens when they get staked. And it's also really gross. Do you like it?
I love it.
Really?
Well, so well, what's happening in the next episode is especially hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like it because it's different.
Sure.
Yeah, because like I like what happens to them in Buffy.
I was like, I'm partial to Buffy.
Turn into Ash. I don't really remember what happens on the Vampire Diaries.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm of two minds about it. I just think I like that it's unique and that it's very bloody.
It is unique because I mean it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
But they basically pop like balloons full of viscera.
It's kind of like that movie Spontaneous that we liked.
So the 3 vampires died, and the 4th was Kevin McHale.
Yeah.
Artie, the coroner.
Yeah.
That ends up having something to do with something.
Yeah.
But I don't remember why, and I'm not looking it up. But
no, me neither.
That's just such a plot, because he was the coroner's assistant.
Yeah.
And so we were like introduced to him. Then Sookie saw him at the vampire bar. Then he was worried Sookie saw him at the vampire bar. So it's like, it's a plot.
Yeah.
I just don't quite.
Well, because I think it's something about the coroner. I still think something is with the coroner specifically. Sure.
Because Andy called him to tell him that his assistant was killed. He was just 19 years old. They're still... Well, we're starting to get more from Terry. It's been very gradual. I like it, though. He is very sweet, because he had that scene with Sam. He's Sam's cousin, correct?
No, he's Andy's cousin.
He's Andy's cousin. Yeah. He had that scene, right, with Sam where he was showing off his brand new possum penis.
Possums have a 2-pronged penis. Supposed to bring good luck.
Yeah. Hey, Terry, let's keep that story between us.
He turned it into a necklace.
Well, was it a bone?
Yeah.
Do animals have penile bones?
Some of them do.
That's weird. It's because it's a mammal. Or a possum is a marsupial.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I don't know. I was upset by it the first time, and I'm upset by it now. Because I wanted to Google it, and I was like, I'm just gonna. Because it's a 2-pronged, I don't know.
Our FBI agents are worried enough about us.
Oh, Lisa, it's not like the government is listening to everybody's conversation.
I like meat, but I don't know if I'm ready to love again. So, and they, Andy and Terry saw Sam shrieking, and I don't know why they're so certain that that's a plot. I mean, we know it is.
It is. Well, I think Andy is kind of wondering if he was involved with the fire and stuff like that. But look, here's the thing for me. This is the worst thing Sam has done to date, which is that he makes Terry feel he's crazy.
Oh, okay.
Running through the woods naked is whatever. I have no
I was going to be like, I mean, he has been maladying Sookie left, right, and center.
Yes, but Terry is mentally troubled.
Unstable.
And instead of telling Terry, yeah, sometimes I do that.
I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing things again. Except usually when I see people who ain't there, it's
insurgents.
Yeah. Yeah.
And hey, I believe you saw what you saw. I just don't know why anyone would be running naked through the woods in broad daylight.
Yeah. Maybe you're right. Shoot. I hate being this way, Sam.
It's all right, buddy. Come on. We're a long way from Fallujah.
What is Terry gonna be weirded out by you? He's like,
and
no.
he's really insidious about it too.
Don't you sometimes see things anyway, Terry?
I'm sure you're fine.
Fuck off. I was furious. I forgot he did that. I forgot so many things about Sam, and that is so far the worst thing he's done, in my opinion. I'm like furious.
Well, and then he threw Sookie's vitamins all on the floor.
Her answer back, though, he was like, what are you doing? And she was taking a vitamin. He was like, I've never seen you take a vitamin before. And she's like, yeah, you haven't seen me shower or brush my hair or do anything.
Mm-hmm.
What business is it of yours if I take a fucking vitamin? And then he realizes it's B12 because Bill's feeding on her. Look, I said it while we were watching the episode where they finally have sex, and Bill is like trying so hard not to bite her. And I'm like, that is the point of sex with a vampire. Jesse's being so precious about it. All these people.
Wait, are you saying this is a metaphor?
It's not a metaphor. I don't know.
No, but I'm saying the penetration.
Yes, of course.
And I know things now, many valuable things that I hadn't known before.
I don't know.
The pleasure and the pain.
The absolute nerve of these
Men.
Ugh.
Well,
Especially because Sookie's like, I want you to. I want you to bite me.
Yeah, but he thinks he knows better because she's...
We were just watching the cinema therapy Breaking Dawn part 1 and part 2 episodes yesterday, and I swear to God, because they were totally right. It's like Edward is like trying to make all the decisions for her.
Okay, but that's one of the places. No, but this is a place where they lose the metaphor, both Twilight and True Blood, because in this metaphor, they do know better than her in this regard. Like and not better is a weird word, but it's like
the danger of a vampire is not equal to the sex danger metaphor.
Sure. Yes. And I will say that when
taken literally.
Yes. It's also so different in Twilight because they're like everything about their mouths is poison. There's a whole other thing. So the thing where Bill is just like trying so hard not to do it, and it's like half the appeal of having sex with a vampire is that they're gonna bite you, and it's amazing.
Yeah, but half of her value is her untouched.
Disgusting. Pull something from New Girl where Schmidt does that, where he's just disgusting. I'm like,
well, because I had forgotten that. I was like, oh right, he's in the dirt, isn't he? And you were like, yep. You were like, and then he puts his dirty penis in her,
right in her.
And I was trying to think of a joke, and I couldn't because I kept trying to go English, and I was like, no, but he's not.
So part of it is like, you know, the like.
Do you want a UTI?
But that's where I have this duality because, like, on the one hand, the like passion and the desperation and the like, you're okay and you're alive and everything is like very, you know, appealing. But then at the same time, I'm like, your penis is covered in dirt and you're putting it in me. No, thank you.
Well, they're also kissing, and it's like he is
covered
just,
in dirt. I can't. It's so bad.
Maybe she just doesn't taste things the same because that pie looked gross.
Yeah, the pie did look pretty gross.
So Tara is dealing with Lettie Mae's rebounding.
Yeah.
What precisely is her issue?
She like doesn't believe it.
So?
Yeah.
Okay. She's mad. We know one thing. It's that she's mad. But, and I mean, I get it sometimes. And
so I think the main part of this episode is that all of the things that are making her angry sort of snowball.
And I guess it's like once again, I understand the demon metaphor, but I think it's because Lettie Mae gets off the hook. She gets to just be like, oh, it was my demon, and now I'm picking up where I left off.
If we'd like to make another Buffy metaphor, it's very like the Angel versus Angelus thing, where every time Angelus does something terrible, Angel can just be like, oh, well, it wasn't me. And it's like, But it was, though.
But no, so I kind of get that now where it's like, because again, it's like I'm all for it was Jeanette.
Yeah, Miss Jeanette.
Yeah, I'm all for the Miss Jeanette, real or not, to help her get over that. But the fact that it's like it's been 2 days and she's like cooking breakfast and going back to church and
doing the laundry
and proselytizing, bringing church, fucking that haven't seen you since, because that's one of the reasons why I stopped going to church when we were younger, is because they'd be like, I guess we won't see you again until Christmas, and it's like, yeah, get fucked. It's like, and so she then goes to Sam, but the Sam and Tara thing is so misguided from both of their
yeah, because that's the thing too, is like, at what point does Sam think he's going to still get Sookie after she somehow will absolutely discover that he's been fucking her best friend regularly? It just makes absolutely no sense.
Well, and then there was the grunting conversation. I was so on Tara's side. Like,
100% on Tara's side. Also, she's been real cool about him barking in his... So, just saying. But sincerely, the fact that, like, you're having a no strings, just like stress release, friends with benefits relationship, just don't talk about it. Just get your dick wet and shut your mouth about it.
And just you do this grunting thing, like Serena Williams. It's just, oh man.
Because he tries to keep it more general than that.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, like tennis players when they serve. And she's like, oh, like Serena Williams, because I'm black. And he's like,
We have 2 more plots because we have Arlene and Renee go to see
some cover band.
That was the thing, that it was like the Clear Mountain Boys or something.
Yeah.
But it's a cover band of them. And I was like, oh, that's bleak.
And then they stop at Red Lobster.
I love Red Lobster, but I was like, you were in Louisiana.
They're not close to New Orleans, though.
Yeah, I guess. I just feel like they've got to be up to here with, like, I don't know.
Still, like, seafood shack things.
He proposes to her
on the side of the road after being real shifty about, like, something going wrong with the car so they can be outside. And he's put the ring inside the battery area of the flashlight.
It was layered in a way.
It was very layered.
Because it was just to make the audience suspicious.
Yeah.
In a way that will not pay off.
No.
Like.
No, it won't.
So Arlene handled Sookie and Bill babysitting her kids.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so she's going to get married. She wants Sookie to be a bridesmaid again.
Yep.
And then we have Jason and Amy. First of all, okay, so I remember really liking Amy because I like Lizzie Kaplan.
Yeah.
And this was like...
We were slightly less discerning when we were 22.
Well, there was a novelty because we hadn't seen her act in anything other than Mean Girls and Cloverfield.
Yeah.
And she's kind of just around now. And so I think we were really excited to see her on our TV screen where I'm like, this bitch is she's a red flag factory.
She is factory. She is a fucking nut job. Bonkers.
And the drugs of it all. Yeah. Now I'm like,
she like Jason picks her because she just started working at Merlotte's. She just started doing it.
I did love Sookie shading the hell out of her, though.
Oh, yeah.
Sookie special.
Well, she just was like, my brot's a dog, right? You're just like the
He's just going to go find some other floozy.
Yeah.
Oops.
I mean, sitar player. So Jason picks her up from Merlotte's after, like, a shift, a real one, because she's got the shirt and everything. Mm-hmm. And she just is like, I need some V right now.
She's tweaking
hard. And Lafayette won't sell to him, and Amy doesn't know where to get anymore, so they decide to follow Lafayette to the vampire that he's getting his V from, who is beautifully played by Stephen Root.
Well, hey there, sweetness. You ready to party? I take that as a yes. Nasty.
I love Stephen Root so much.
And it's a necessary element for the show, especially because it kind of counteracts the Malcolm, Diane, and Marcus of it all.
Well, and also the like sort of inhuman hotness of the rest of the rest of the vampires.
Well, it comes up in one of the they talk about it in one of the next episodes about how he's not as attractive as the other vampires and stuff. And it's just bleak.
I always look forward to Monday night. First heroes and you.
It's just sad and bleak. And Amy, I don't know. Because on one hand, it's like, on one hand, you don't want to tell Jason too much, but on the other, you don't need him going rogue. So it's like, I don't know, but because Jason doesn't know he's kidnapping somebody.
Right. And they it's like silver chainmail over his face and then tying his arms and legs with it. He's just not a fighter. If they had just gone in and been like, we need some blood, he would have been like,
just with the necklace.
he would have been like, let me suck Jason's dick and then we'll talk. You know, it's like, I don't know. It sucks. I mean, what it does for the rest of this plot for Jason's character, I remember appreciating, but Amy is like a full lunatic. In a way that I appreciate Lizzie Kaplan's unhinged performance, but at the same time, I'm just like,
but I think I construed it for liking Amy first time, and now I'm like,
too. Now it's like, wait, no, and she's like going on about like, all the animals on the wall
lived an entire life that we'll never understand.
And I'm like,
get your crunchy ass
out of my life,
tweaking girlfriend,
like ridiculous.
So. Actually, there were fucking a lot because Eric summoned Sookie.
Yeah.
Because
by being in Bill's bathtub.
I texted you 3 times. Why didn't you reply?
Just waiting there for him, listening to Swedish folk music.
I love the vampire sexual politics, but they summon Sookie because someone is stealing from them and they think it's a human, and so they need her to read their thoughts. And it turns out that it's not a human, it's Longfellow. We got Ginger.
It's Long Shadow.
What'd I say?
You keep saying Longfellow.
Long Shadow. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We got Ginger. She's around. Does she survive the series?
If she doesn't, she's
around for a while.
She at least makes it to the final season. I think.
I thought it then, I think it now, mystifyingly not played by Kristen Chenoweth.
Ginger, this woman has some questions for you. Be a good girl and answer them, will you?
Aye, master.
I think it's a little too skanky for Kristen Chenoweth.
Happy Easter, my little bunnies.
But I mean that in the nicest way. It's like such a fun kind of skanky. She does have track marks though, and that's upsetting. But yeah, her name is Tara Buck. She's incredible. Truly incredible.
Because isn't she like riding a coffin at one point? She's like trying to keep someone in a coffin.
Yeah. So much amazing shit to come from Ginger. She is also a screamer on the show. She does a couple of good screams. I love her so much. This is a pretty good. We also got our first glimpse of Steve Newlin on the TV.
Is this the first? We might have seen him once before, but no, we got a solid glimpse.
This is like the first real, like he's speaking.
He had a scene, yeah.
I like that quite a lot as well. I do think then that is mostly it. Bill is like really good with Arlene's kid, which is cute. It's nice.
So we talked about it a little bit in the show. Or when we were watching the show, that it's like I forgot that it's mostly just Bill and Sookie I don't like, and they're like okay at this part. He's certainly what she needs at this point in her life,
which is the thing I say also always about Buffy. It was like Angel and Buffy were correct at that's the type of love you have when you're 16. That does not have longevity.
But I just remember how much more I like Bill with literally anybody else on the show. Like anytime he's interacting with someone else, because you're right, he's really good with the kids.
And the scene with Eric, when Eric was in his bathtub, it's not very long and not a lot happens, but it's such a different dynamic than the one he has with Sookie. And I do prefer it.
So, all right. Well, I think that's it for that. So we're going to watch the next episode and then come back and talk about it.
Bye.